This is the President McCormack Podcast with your host, Mark McCormack.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the Mark McCormack Podcast, not really, it's called the President McCormack Podcast. You all know that, you loyal listeners. But don't you worry, my guest today, Matthew Barre.
Ooh, Matthew.
Did your mom call you Matthew? Does she call you Matt?
No, my parents do. Yeah, they call me Matthew.
Straight up?
Yeah, they very, very, very rarely call me Matt. It's a Matthew thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
How many people call you Matty?
Matty?
Yeah.
Probably a handful.
Like me and Nick, and that's
it.
it?
You, Nick, and McHenry call me Matty.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
yeah, mostly it's Matt. It came from, I think I started calling myself Matt when I was in high school, probably about 13 or 14.
Oh, they have high school over there in England?
Yeah, I barely got through it. But I think I was just tired of being yelled at, like the whole, Matthew, get down here. Matthew, pick up your room. I'm like, screw this, I'm changing my name. What can I legally do at the age of 14? Shorten it to Matt. It's just a way for me to disconnect.
What age did you start playing rugby?
Not until I was 19. I didn't find rugby until I joined the military. I played football until then.
Football, soccer for those guys here in America.
Soccer for all us Americans.
My 3 UK listeners will be
My mom.
furious. Yeah, your mom, your dad, and hopefully a brother. I don't know if my cousins listen to this.
Yes, I played rugby. I played soccer until I got into the military, and then there was a buddy I worked with. He literally, he was never at work. And when we were on night shift, he always had nights off. When we were on day shift, he always had days off. And I said to him, I was like, Sparky, where the fuck do you go? Like, where are you all the time? Yeah. And he goes, I play rugby. He's like, we train twice a week. We have a match, and then whatever day we're playing, we get off, and then recovery day. I was like, cool. Can anyone play rugby? And that was it. I went down for one training session and played for 19 years.
So my friend Aaron, when we graduated, we were about to graduate high school. So this would have been like April, and we graduate like the end of May, right? And he comes to me and he goes, hey, I want to play rugby. And I was like, good for you, right? And he's like, no, come try out with me. I'm like, try out? What the hell are you talking about? I thought there's like high school things, right? It's not. It's actually club, right?
Oh, gotcha.
And so there was a team here called Highland. Have you heard of them?
Mm-mm. I know where Highland is as a place in Salt Lake City, right? Isn't it an area?
It is, but that's not where Highland High School is.
Okay.
So Highland High School is actually up in Salt Lake.
Okay.
Where is it by? It's close to the University of Utah. For you, it's close to the University of Utah, right? And Highland Alpine area is actually where I grew up. So that's Lone Peak High School.
Yeah. And
so, but Highland High School was a club team that they've made movies about them, they've made documentaries about them, and they kicked the shit out of everyone. We played BYU in Utah, right? We were a high school club. Right, they recruit from all over the world. So there's kids from New Zealand, there's kids from South Africa, there's all sorts of shit. And but we kicked the shit out of BYU, and then we kicked the shit out of Utah. And I was like, oh, this team's like a different level. Now I didn't know what the hell was going on, right? Because trying out that, I was actually really fast for my size, right? So they're just like, okay.
Well, you grew up playing football all your life. There's not
football.
There's not that many differences. When you think about it, you catch the ball.
The tackling's a lot different.
The tackling is a lot different. Head-to-head contact is not recommended in rugby.
Yeah, I think I separated my shoulder the first two. I think it was 2 times before I was like, okay, we're not tackling like this.
No helmets, no pads. I never wore pads. I never wore a mouth guard.
Really?
No, I never wore one. I had one custom made by the dental office in the military. They made one for me, but I couldn't breathe in it properly, and I'd just continue like gagging on my mouth. So I just never played with a mouth guard. Just couldn't do it. So no pads, no helmet, no mouth guard. Just running around. Didn't even pull my socks up. just running around headbutting people.
I think the only reason they let me play or wanted me to play was just to freaking lead the scrum.
Yeah.
Because it's like I was right in the middle, dude. Just like boom, we engaged that. And it was just like I pushed those dudes back every freaking time. It was like, this is easy.
And you wonder why your back blew out.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Oh yeah. 6 months later, I blow my back out in Scotland, and then come home 9 months after that. And
dude, it was for me. Rugby was like, so with soccer, there's all the different positions in soccer, right? But like you're kind of pigeonholed into that position. Like if you're a defender, you don't go past the halfway line. If you're a striker, you don't come back into your own area, those kind of things. But with rugby, even though you have the positions, which are a set position, the fluid of play, like you can see the big boys like you tanking up the field with the ball with the small guys supporting, and vice versa. There's no set, you shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? It's like everybody just get the ball up the field. I remember one of my most embarrassing moments in rugby was like one of my first half a dozen games as I was starting to play. They never start you, right? You're always put on in the last 10 minutes to kind of get in, whatever. And so that had happened a couple of times, and I got in on this home game, and they put me with like 20 minutes to go. And I'm on the wing, stood out there. You never really get the ball. It never gets to you. So I'm just kind of stood there watching the game. Well, all of a sudden the ball comes flying out to me and I catch it. And I'm like, holy shit. And I look down the field and there's nobody. And I've got like Born Free playing in my ear. I'm like, this is going to be glorious. So I start sprinting and I see the try line and a guy's about to attack me. And I dive like proper beautiful swan dive over the line, put it down, ball touches. I jump up and I start screaming. The whole team come flying towards me. I'm thinking this is great. I'd actually put the ball down 5 meters short. I'd measured the wrong line. And so I'd put the ball down and started celebrating 5 meters short. The other team picked it up, ran it up the field and fucking scored.
And scored?
Oh, my whole team were pissed because they thought I'd scored because they were so far behind me. They thought I was over the line.
Yeah.
So as they came closer and the ref hadn't blown the whistle, I'd put the ball down short and the other team picked it up.
See, that was my only regret in there. I never scored a try, right? Because it's weird. It's not weird. Well, to Americans, it's weird, right? But when you cross what we would call do you even call it the goal line?
Try line.
The try line, yeah. So once you cross it, it doesn't mean you score technically, right? You actually go to the middle and tap the ball.
Well, it
on
has
the
to be
ground.
anywhere in the try line. You have to have the ball under control with downward pressure.
Right.
So it can be fingertips, but you have to put the ball down in a controlled manner.
And
so
then
you can't do like these flying catches, and if you're in the try zone and you catch it, it's a try. Like you have to place it down. Yeah. And so I'd done that just 5 meters short, and I thought I was the bee's knees, and my team thought I was a complete dipshit.
Just turn around.
I was like, yeah.
Hey, I'll be giving them shit though. It's like, hey, I gave you guys 100 yards for these guys to run, and you just
Stood and watched
thumb
me?
up your butt,
yeah. But yeah, I didn't live that down for quite a minute, but I got better.
You know what's funny? I've never scored a touchdown, and I've never scored a try. I mean, I only played for like 2 months.
Oh, really?
The rugby, but yeah.
It was one of those great levelers, and you just meet good people, and there's like the buzz, and you get that locker room camaraderie where it's just all shit talk, and then on top of that, you're in the military, so it's like double the amount of shit talk and the pranks and the shit that you do to people, and it's hilarious. It was one of the I miss it terribly. I miss the dipshittery of it terribly.
Of course,
I don't miss the waking up on a Sunday morning just in pain from head to toe, but I miss the dipshittery about it.
No, I got a buddy, and it doesn't drive Michelle crazy when I go hang out with them. I'm going to leave them unnamed. But she doesn't get it right, and I'm like, she's like, why do you want to go over there and hang out with them? And I'm like, because every now and again, like every once a year, I need to have me and another 9-year-old just hang out and act like we're 9. And she's just like, okay, you're right. I'm like, that's what it is. I don't know what to tell you. We're just over there saying dumb shit about dumb shit.
That's why you and I get on so well. We laugh our asses off. It's like Michelle Matt's coming into town. She's like, oh God.
No, she loves it. It's like 3 days in. She's like, you too.
she really.
I was teasing the kids last night. I said, all right, I'm picking up Maddie in the morning. I said, so you guys better have your teeth brushed, your hair combed, your room's clean. And Brea starts laughing her ass, and she goes, yeah, Matt likes it when our rooms are clean. I was like, yeah, it's one of his things.
That's one of my things. Come on, kids, brush your teeth, brush your hair, and clean your room.
I love it doing you. You guys' room clean? Like, they'll give you a hug. It's like, man, I was like, all right. You guys' room clean? They're like, what? And I'm like, no, seriously, you guys' room clean. Get your ass up there, Nixon, brush your teeth.
Nixon just comes down. He's like, Maddie, my room's clean. I'm like, hey, get in here, big fella.
No, I love it, dude. It's like community raising the kids,
Hey, absolutely.
Come have some fun with us.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, if I can buy them hamsters, I can tell them to clean the room.
Oh, yeah, then you guys bought a goddamn hamster. That was a gift. That was fun.
That was the gift that kept on giving.
Well, yeah, so we buy a hamster for our kids, and Matt and Andrew came into town, and they wanted to buy him another one. And I was like, cool. So you buy him a hamster, and then you stick it in the same mother freaking cage as them, and it starts trying to kill the other one. I was like, oh, these things can't go together. So now all of a sudden I have 2 hamster cages.
I should have known when it was a Russian hamster that things weren't going to go well.
Yeah, exactly. Did you buy the cage or did I buy the cage? I can't remember.
No, I think you had to buy the second cage.
I had to buy the second cage. God. And I got my kids in there just like freaking, oh, this one. And I'm like, this is $1,200. Hell no. These are hamsters that'll be dead in 18 months. Of course, the one you guys have bought, it won't die. They're like
but it was
2.5
the way
years
when I
in.
bought the hamster, even, I think it was Nixon or Harper was like, well, did you keep the receipt in case it dies? And I'm like, we can do that now? And they're like, oh yeah, you can take it back if it dies. I'm
What
like,
is a hamster?
Okay.
Like $25, $50?
Yeah, I think it was $25, $30,
Something like that. You know the whole story of me going in there, right? And calling it Shathid. Dude, we're driving over there, and I've never bought my kids an animal in their life. It's just me and the kids, right? And I can't help myself. And I'm like, what do you guys want to name it? They're just like, oh, I want to name it Pig and Pancake, and Gus and whatever the freak else did. I go, nah, if I'm buying this thing, I'm naming it. And they're like, okay, Dad, like, what are you going to name it? I go, we're going to call it Shathid. Which for anyone not getting the joke, it means shithead. You say Shathid. So we go into PetSmart, right? And I'm like, oh shit, I got to buy all sorts of stuff like food and toys and cages.
Not just the hamster, bro.
Oh no, I was on a one hamster cage. I was like $800 by the time I walked out of that bloody thing, right? And so we're sitting there, and I'm like, we're tapping on the window. Little hamsters are looking at us, right? And this most granola 18-year-old with purple hair, just like crazy, right? It's just like, hello, hi. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And we're looking for a hamster. And dude, out of nowhere, she just whips the kid. She goes, have you named your hamster yet? It's super important to name them. The way they feel and view the world is based on the name. And I'm like, oh. And they're not looking at me. I'm standing behind them. I'm looking at her. She's looking at my 3 kids. I'm standing right behind them. And I'm like, no, don't tell them. And she looks at Bray. She goes, what are you going to name him? And Bray just without hesitation, she goes, Pancake. And I was like,
you are my golden child.
Thank you. Because there's no way they're selling us a hamster. We're getting kicked out of here because this thing you should feed. Oh, my dad's just buying this because he makes a really good porridge. And, we eat 4 of these things. Like, oh.
I could just see you standing there looking like, I don't have to tell you, kids.
This is going to hurt. She's going to lose her mind.
Can you tell me how to make fire?
I was seriously, yeah. Oh, God. I was waiting for her to be like, are you serious? I'm like, no. No, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just children.
These aren't even my kids. Where are my kids?
Where am I? Just walk out the front.
Michelle, can you go pick up the kids from PetSmart?
I got kicked out.
She'll be like, is Matt with you? No.
No, he's not. No, I left him at Target.
Oh, God.
Oh, you guys, anyone listen to this? Matt and I got lost in Target. We had rainbow frappes. We were both wearing boas and sunglasses, and for some weird reason, we went in there to buy swimsuits and ended up in the towel section discussing how many threads are the minimum amount for our asses.
Thread carrying towels. Like what? Drinking Starbucks passion fruit drinks. Look, talking about the thread counts of towels. I'm like, what is going on? I look at Mark, I'm like, are we doing this? He's like, get out, grab the towels, run.
I can't see a clock.
I can't. It's like Vegas in here. They're putting in fresh scents to make us want to stay. There's no clocks. Get
out of there. Men, don't ever go to Target.
Don't ever go to Target.
There's actually nothing to buy there. That's the thing that's insane. Have you ever noticed that?
There's nothing to buy? In what way?
No, if we go in there with earplugs in so we can't hear the music, no frappe, and you're just looking around, it's like trinkety shit.
Oh, I don't know. They suck you in. That's why they have like the little $2, $3, $5 items at the beginning. They tease you to get in there and you think, oh, I'm only spending $5. Before you know it, $150 later, you've got Egyptian cotton towels. You've got Egyptian cotton sheets. You've got kitten food and you don't even have a cat.
I bought pink truffles. Yeah, exactly. I got kitty food. Why the hell?
Why the fuck do I have a kitty litter? I don't even own a cat. Like, holy shit. I've got a bedside lamp. I've got a little sign for the laundry that says live, love, laugh. I've got it.
I'll tell you the best part about it is, so Matt and I are driving up to meet our wives and kids, and they're all swimming at this place with our good friend Jonah and whoever else was there. And so we get a text. It's like all the way up. It's like 2 hours away from us or an hour and a half away. And it's like, hey, do you guys want to go to Target and pick up some stuff? So my wife asked me that question. So what did I say to her?
You said no.
No, I don't want to go to Target.
I don't want to go to Target.
So she goes, oh, okay, well, maybe we'll just go. She goes on the phone, right? And I was like, hell, that was easy. Feeling like we're bosses. 27 seconds later, dude, I get a freaking mapped location to freaking Target and a pick list. And I'm like, oh, we've been bamboozled.
We're in.
Now, the other side of that story is hilarious because Andrea's listening to Michelle have this conversation. And she goes on the phone. She goes, yeah, they don't want to go. And she's like, that's not how this works. And then bam, we get a text.
Next thing you know, there we are in Target.
Yeah, there we are in Target.
And we've never been back. I've never been back. We've never been back together.
We shan't go back.
We shan't go back. We've never been back together. I've been back with the kids. It brought back fun memories. But we're not allowed to go back together.
Tell you, I hate that place.
Well,
I love and I hate that place.
It just seems to be wherever you and I are together without supervision. Things seem to go a little awry.
It's either expensive or funny or both.
or you're into yourself. Scooters in Spain.
Scooters in Spain. I forgot about that.
Scooters in Spain.
Scooters in Spain was insane.
Yeah.
Remember that dude that tried to like hit me into another car?
Oh, yes. On that little coming back from the Real Madrid
I
stadium.
was like, this is going to mess your car up
Dude,
so bad
I've
if
never
you hit
seen
me.
you suck your gut in so tight when you went between that bus and that car. I was like, here, I'm from behind looking, going, that silhouette is not fitting through that gap. But you sucked in and just went sideways and popped through. I was like, oh shit, he fit. If he can fit, I can fit. Let's go. Dude, I almost went through a glass window. on the scoots? Remember when I ate shit in that?
Oh my gosh, dude. That was making me laugh. So Matt and Andrea like Roman stuff. So we drove like freaking like an hour and a half.
That's an hour, yeah.
There's some ruins, right? And so we're on cobblestone roads that were literally built when the Romans came through. I mean, it's freaking forever old. And we're like, were we just going in a circle or something?
Yeah, we're just touring around. It's only like a mile circumference where all these Roman ruins are.
So Matt
the girls wanted to walk.
Yeah.
And you and I were like, we don't do cardio, so we rented scooters.
I'm not walking anywhere where there's a scooter around. It's our favorite thing. So Matt, like, I don't know what you did, but you kind of like took this angle, like you like circled around.
Like a U-turn in like a courtyard that was on an incline. And so I did a U-turn and then I lost control and came down the incline faster than I...
Did you bail out of it too quick?
Oh, dude, I was aiming for that freaking wall.
So you were about to go through that door.
Yeah, so I stacked. I literally dropped the scooter and just thought, oh, fuck, I'll tumble because I'm losing control. I couldn't stop it. So I just threw myself down and the scooter went flying. I'm sliding across this street and I end up, inches away from a freaking glass door that I could have gone through. And I turn around and I'm like... Okay, that happened. I turn around, quick check, I'm good. I turn around and Mark is fucking not even asking me if I could. Okay, he is squinty-eyed, double over, laughing his ass off.
Dude, you did that thing where like you bailed off the scooter and you're going too fast, so it's like big step. And I could just see you like you're barreling over this door and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to go through this thing. He's not slowing down. And you literally just like collapsed in front of it and like slid into the thing. And you're right, dude. I was laughing so hard. I was like, I actually felt bad because I'm not even asking if he's okay because I can't stop laughing. Of course, I kept on having the vision of you slamming through that door too, and like, because it was like a cafe or something,
oh, yeah.
just like at the feet of whoever's having a cappuccino. Oh my gosh! And the girls are just like this is like 2 seconds into us on these damn things too.
Yeah.
We're like zip down that one hole.
And the girls are like watching, like, oh God, this is what we have coming for the next 2 weeks. And they were right.
They were right.
They were absolutely right.
Scooting on the cobblestones like.
And then we came home and bought scooters.
Oh, dude.
Best thing you ate. Guys, if you honestly want a great family, to buy scooters. They are so much damn fun. Like the kids and I would just scoot off to the cinema, get ice cream, like get yourself those little stand-up powered scooters. They are an absolute blast.
They're seriously fun.
Just learn how to take big circles, because
don't do circles.
That could have been so bad.
You know what's funny? I've eaten shit on those scooters like at least 3 times, if not more, and I'd never like get hurt.
No.
Like I went over the front of one.
You hurt more on a bike. If you catch your nuts on a handlebar or clip a pedal, like you'll hurt yourself way more on those things. Yeah. You know, there's nothing really to fall into. You just fall off.
We're going to take some scooters up to Nick's house tonight. We'll throw them in the back of my car. Go up there.
Take them to the Ludus.
Ooh.
Yeah. Zip around Wyoming on a couple of scoots.
I'm not against that.
Is there much to do? Is there much to scoot there?
That's what I don't think so. Because we're at like these 2 cabins that are like on a hill or something like that.
That's true.
I'm bringing the guitar though. Brett Wright's bringing his.
Nice. You got to serenade us?
A little serenading.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's more of a group effort. Everyone kind of sings along.
Sure.
To Mr. Brightside. Can you sing?
No. I like to. I'll give it a whack. I'm not good at it, but I will absolutely belt out of it.
Did you tell me God gave you those looks and no voice to back it up?
Yeah.
He gave you an accent though. You get away with a lot of that shit.
He did. Yeah. Yeah, I love singing. Andrew says I got a great voice. I just don't hear it.
Oh, go ahead.
You know, but I do like to sing. I'll sing a little Oasis with you, a little Wonderwall.
Yeah. Don't look back in anger. 3, 2, 1.
I'm not singing right now. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to your fans.
Don't look back in anger.
I'm not doing that to your 3 listeners.
Dude, how hard is it to sing Oasis?
It's not hard at all. It's made for drunk people.
Yeah.
quite honestly. But amazing band. I know, the sad thing is, like, I never appreciated Oasis when they were so big back in the UK, because they were kind of like the grungy kids listen to Oasis, you know what I mean? But now I'm 40, I fucking love Oasis music.
Dude, Oasis hit here hard.
Oh, did it really?
Oh, it was like the resurrection of the Beatles.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were just huge, but it was weird, right? Because of their persona really fitted in with the people of Northern England, like that, you know, the way they were and the way they acted. But then the people in the south of England, like that wasn't their character, you know what I mean? So it was really weird. Yeah. So there was parts of England that were all in on Oasis and parts that weren't, and Birmingham just wasn't a part.
So who do you think the biggest band? Well, let's go biggest band post '80s coming out of Britain. So Rolling Stones are out, The Who's out, Beatles are out.
Damn. Biggest band to come out of England? I would probably say, quite honestly, there was a boy band called Take That. They were pretty big, but then spin off from that, you had Robbie Williams. He came out and was just a mega solo artist.
Robbie was big over here.
Yeah, Robbie Williams really took off.
Said, whatever
yeah,
I did,
exactly. Yeah, you know a little bit of Take That.
I've used that line before.
Yeah, but that's just like boy bands and girl bands. There hasn't been like a real good, like they would what I would call is like the manufactured band. You know what I mean? Like you see on like.
Oh, I know the biggest band. What are we talking about? The Spice Girls.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
I mean, they're a group, but like.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, again, you wouldn't call them a band. They don't play instruments. You know what I mean? They're just let's
go band.
They're a manufactured band.
So Oasis has got to be the biggest.
Probably
band.
Oasis, yeah. Probably Oasis, because they can play. They're musically talented too, you know. Yeah, I'd most likely say Oasis.
Who is a big band right now in England?
I wouldn't know.
See, when I was on my mission, people would argue with us all the time, right? They'd be like, "Oh, the greatest bands come out of England." It's like, what the hell are you talking about? We outrank you, like. And they're like, "Well, the Beatles and the Rolling Stones," and it's like, "Yeah, we got Michael Jackson." Yeah. You know what I mean? So the Eagles, you know what I mean? Bruce Springsteen. I mean, there's some big boys over in America too, right? Mm-hmm. And I always thought it was funny because like when British people sing outside of Oasis, they don't sound British. To me, they sound American.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I haven't thought about that. They don't, yeah, you're right. They don't sound stereotypically English. Whereas again, with Oasis, they've got that Mancunian, you know, kind of undertone of their dialect.
Is Coldplay English or Scottish?
English. Yeah, there you go. Coldplay, I'd probably say.
Coldplay's pretty big. I mean, the music got real bad after the first album, but...
You hate Coldplay.
Why
do you not like Coldplay?
Viva La Vida.
One song ruins the entire band.
The whole album's bad.
That's true. That's true. Like their X and Y album and the early stuff, like Parachutes and stuff like that, was really good.
Parachute was great.
Really good.
I love The Scientists. That's a funny thing. They're like the Red Hot Chili Peppers to me. They've got 3 or 4 songs I love. I put them on almost any mix, and the rest of it, I could leave it. Mm-hmm. Like I don't. Red Hot Chili Peppers to me are really funny because the songs I like of theirs I love, and anything else I hate. Like the song Californication, I hate it.
Just because it's overplayed?
No, I just don't like it.
Just not something that jams.
Yeah, I mean nothing's really overplayed anymore, right? Because you just pick what you want to listen to. But like Under the Bridge, Around the World. What's another song of theirs I really like? I mean, Under the Bridge is fantastic. All around the world, we can make time.
That's weird because those were.
Oh, Scar Tissue. Hate Scar Tissue.
I never really listened to a lot of music after like I was 14 or 15. Really, I kind of just stopped listening to a lot of music, I guess. I'd listen to the radio, but I wouldn't like go buy albums or buy music. I just listened to whatever's on the radio. And it wasn't until I was probably 18 or 19 again in the military where, you know, you're listening to other guys' musics in the room that you start to pick up like the music you like. And that's where I started to pick up on like the Foo Fighters, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, AC/DC. These were all bands that I'd heard of but didn't know a lot of their songs. Yeah. But when you start to get that, and like back in the day, you're passing thumb drives around, swapping albums with your buddies, you know, to build up your music library, and I was introduced to so much random shit. I've got thousands of songs on a hard drive, and I'm like, I don't even know half of these bands, but I just collect the music anyway in case I one day listen to it. But yeah, that's kind of where my music genre really opened up was when I was my late teens. But like even then, I couldn't tell you albums of Foo Fighters or albums of Red Hot Chili Peppers. I could tell you maybe a song or two. Yeah. But I know you're a massive music dude.
I know a lot of, we'll just call it trivia from the 90s. Early 2000s, maybe up to 2004, 2005. Dip into the 80s probably in about 86, 87. Pretty, like I was into it, so I just know a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I saw this meme the other day, actually. It was funny. It was like, why are Gen X people mad? Right? And it basically goes, because when we were born, all of our music was on cassettes. And then we had to move it all to CDs and rebuy it again. Mm-hmm. And then we moved it into Napster, right, where it was kind of free. Then that got taken away from us. And then we actually, then we started buying all of our music off Apple Music, which is like $1 or 99 cents a song, right, or $1.29 a song, right? And now it's all streamed, and we're pissed. We bought our music 5,000 times, and now we got to just listen to it and pay for it on a monthly basis. Yeah. And it was kind of making me laugh. I'm like, this is kind of true.
Yeah.
You know, like our parents' generation is like freaking straight up records.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's the thing now. A lot of people are now buying albums back on vinyl again. Yeah. Because it's a tangible object. It's something they can own and keep forever.
It is kind of dope too, right? To like have like your sound system set up, kind of grab a glass of wine or a cocktail.
Nothing better than a vinyl record, man. Just the scratchy sound of it, like it's proper analog sound.
Like I love teasing Nick, as you well know, right?
Oh yeah.
So when we go up there, because you know a record only plays 4 songs, right? So it'll like end, he'll be cooking, and I'll be sitting in his living room, so I'm 5 feet from the damn thing, right? He's 50 feet away from it. I'm like, hey, come over here and flip this thing.
Just getting that record as it goes right.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, you flip it. And I'm like, I'm not flipping it. If I was gonna do it, I'd plug my damn digital music, and I don't just do jack shit. And he's just like, you stupid.
Oh, Nicky, he does love his records. They're fun. You know, it's fun for the kids. We bought a couple of albums that the kids like on vinyl, and they actually like, you know, kind of turning it on and setting the vinyl up, moving the needle, or that kind of thing. And it kind of, I guess, makes them wonder how the sound comes out of something plastic, you know, going into the technology, but like how it actually works. It's like, it's pretty impressive.
It's kind of cool, actually.
It's incredibly cool. And you think about the history of vinyl, it goes back to the Egyptian days. They were capturing sound in clay. Oh yeah, with needles and sound in clay. There's clay tablets from like 2,000 years ago that have grooves in that if you were to put a needle in today, you could hear audio or hear sound through it.
Dude, that's crazy. Can you imagine if you got a voice out of it?
Exactly. Can you imagine finding something when you actually played it? It's like Cleopatra, or King Tutankhamun. You know,
wild.
Yeah. By the way, we have the answers. Aliens. Just got to find that tablet, you know. But yeah, it's crazy that concept of capturing sound is something that we still use and play today. That's the mind-blowing part of it, you know.
No, I think music is literally the universal language. Doesn't matter what language you speak. Yeah. You know, even like Diane Wood, right? Have you ever listened to them from South Africa? Mm-mm. We'll listen to them in the car because I know you've heard them, right? It's like kind of shitty music, to be honest, but like 400 million views on all their videos. They're just kind of like this thing, but like. And they speak English, but they also speak some dialect that's down there. It's like a brother and sister that like white, right? And I actually don't mind it. It's kind of like, oh, this is interesting, right? And even like, you know, we tease about British rap all the time, right? Because it's
terrible,
right? It's like, what the hell is this? And I'm telling you, like, I think it all the time, but I'm like, well, I'm not a rapper. I'm not going to say anything, right? But then you get like Snoop Dogg and Dre and these freaking dudes tear their asses up over how terrible it is. It's like, yeah, it is bad. British rap is bad.
Horrible. You know, it's one lane we should have stayed way out of.
I know why it's bad though. It's because they use local slang. If they didn't use local slang, it wouldn't sound as bad.
Yeah. In English rap, you mean?
Yeah, because we don't know what the hell they're saying.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you know this shit. What's the Cockney stuff?
Cockney rhyme. Yeah. If they're starting to use Cockney, then it doesn't make sense. No, that's pretty. I think you're right though with music being universal. There's like music from different countries. Like you don't understand the words, but you can get the rhythm and the tempo, and like you get the emotion out of songs all the time. Like you know, African tribes people beating a drum and just singing and clicking and whatever they're doing, but like you get in that flow of what the music they're playing.
Yeah. Well, even like flamenco.
Yeah.
Right? Like
flamingo dancing?
Flamingo dancing. Oops. So flamenco dancing. I'll have to call Kelly and tell her that. We just saw some flamenco dancers. She's like, damn it. But like, you know, they speak Spanish. We don't speak a word. And it's like really passionate, clicking their heels, blah, blah. You get what's going on, you know. Mm-hmm. Normally an affair happened and some chick's mad and blah, blah, blah. And some dude thinks he gets to do whatever the hell he wants. So he comes clicking and clacking along.
If you've never been to Spanish flamenco dancing, that is literally all it is. Just two people pissed at each other, clicking and clacking around each other until they make up. That's literally it.
And then we're like,
and Mark loves here? Spanish guitar is Mark's favorite, right, buddy?
I'll be honest though, dude. The second one we watched
was amazing.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty
good.
The
guitarist. They can just. I do like Spanish guitar, if it's like the best. But after that, if it's an A-, get it the hell out of
Mark's
my face.
a little judgy when it comes to Spanish guitar.
Well, it's because it's lazy, right? But you can sit there and like clink away at it, right? I'll show you tonight on one of my guitars, but like you think, it's like you can make this solo forever long. It's like your talent sucks. Just play it right, you know? I'm dead serious. Anyone that plays guitar knows exactly what I'm talking about. But then it's like, but you get someone that's like really good and they're like, but they're like playing the song and like they're just riffing instead of like a 4-minute long.
Well, that's what the guy on the second night did. He was just so in tune with
so
like,
good.
What's even going on in the stage, the energy, and he was like working off the energy we were giving from the crowd. Like he was just, he was in the zone, man. He was really good. I agree.
And they tap a lot more too, right? So it's like the
Whereas the first night, I think they were just playing a set. You know? Yeah.
Honestly, I just don't think he was that good of a guitarist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's just like, hey, bro, we need you tonight. You know, you're the freaking third guy on our list. You know, blah blah blah. Like, you know, C, right?
You wait at our call sheet.
Yeah,
he was busking earlier that day out on the street. They're like, you panhandling? Get in here. We'll pay you $50.
Oh, Haley and I were talking last night. Helen and I were talking last night about busking a little bit.
Oh yeah, are you doing a little jam session somewhere?
Yeah, we're gonna play at a bar. Called The Break.
Cool. What are you playing?
She's given. So we're doing like "I'm With You" by Avril Lavigne. We're doing 2 Foo Fighters songs. Sure, I have a list somewhere. We played through all of them one day, but we need to. You know, we probably need to put another 40 hours into practicing something like that.
Hell yeah!
So
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, should be good. It's easy for me. I don't have to sing. Play guitar is easy as shit.
God. Thank fucking God. But you're going to get a little shoo-wop-de-woppy in there somewhere.
A weebie-boo-wop.
A weebie-boo-wop.
Just to throw Haley off, she's like,
a zippity-boo.
Oh, we're in the middle of this. Keep going,
She's
girl.
She's that high rock note and you're just giving shabap-babap. Blah. Jazz hands. Oh, God.
The thing that's funny with the guitar, though, dude, is you can make it super simple. Or you can play it like they play on stage, right? Like you kind of go wherever you want. That's the only thing I need to practice with her is like I need to know where she wants to sing and put her signature into it, so that I really tone down the guitar during that, so that she's the highlight. Yeah. So that's really, playing a song's not how hard is that? Just play a song.
How long have you been playing?
I've been playing since I was 10.
Self-taught? Do you get lessons?
No, I took lessons for. I probably took lessons for 3 years. Think about my timeline in here, 3 or 4 years, pretty basic lessons, to be honest, right? It was like a chick that like kind of made up her own sheet music. So then I learned how to read tablature, and that's when I really started taking off on skill wise. And then right before I went on my LDS mission, I hired a PhD level professor up at the U. His name was, he actually played at my wedding.
Is that a random question? Is that like a Mormon thing? Do a lot of Mormon families get their children to like into instruments, into music as part of the culture? Because
piano's a huge one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I noticed, Barre, your Barre is amazing at the piano. It's one of my, I've told you this before, one of my ultimate favorite moments with her is just watching her play. I got emotional watching her play the piano. She's just so talented.
Dude, if I remember right, when she was like 9.
Yeah.
Right. She used to be in a competition piano, right? And she went to this competition. So it's really weird. You walk in all together as a family. We sit down. She walks up. She presents her song. She sits down. She plays it. She walks out. There's 4 judges that judge her, right? We're not allowed to clap. You're not allowed to do jack shit, right? They don't even thank her for coming in, right? As soon as she's done, she just walks out. We all walk out. Next family walks in, right? Then that judgment gets put across the entire country. It's like swimming, basically, right? Wow. And you go into like your scores, right? And I can't remember if she took 4th or 2nd out of like hundreds. And like you mess up one time, it's done. There's not like you start and stop. Like there's none of that shit, right? Yeah. These judges are harsh. She took she was top 10.
That's amazing.
And we were like,
she's just so good.
She's really good.
She is, and this. So I'll share it with your listeners because this is like it was really impactful for me. It's like one of my favorite movies as well. Yours, Interstellar. The soundtrack from Interstellar is just amazing. Like if you listen to that soundtrack, it transcends you to a different place just in the music. And so she was playing the piano and I'm kind of watching her and she gets nervous when people watch. I was kind of trying to do it without, her seeing me. And then she stopped and we were kind of chatting and I asked her, I said, there's this piece of music from a movie that I love. I said, if I tell you what it is, can you learn the music? And she was like, yeah, of course. And so I was kind of telling her about the song. I was like, it's this movie, it's called Interstellar, and it's about this, and the music, it's so poignant. And I'm like selling her on the song, right, to incite her to learn it. And after about a minute of me rabbiting on, she goes, oh, I know it. Would you like me to just play it for you? And I'm like, yeah. And I sat there on the stairs, and she, for like 5 minutes, just racked it out to the point like I got really emotional because it was just so freaking beautiful. I filmed the whole thing and I've watched it multiple times. It's one of my ultimate favorite memories with her. But she was just so spot on. And then she would kind of just stop, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, she's done. And then boom, she'd just go in heavy, and like she's hammering the keys and just giving it the beans, and then she'd stop and go back into the graceful playing again. I'm like, holy shit, this it was just, it's mind blowing. So, but yeah, that's why I asked, because Barre plays the piano, you played the guitar. I know a couple of our friends who are in or out of the church, they have play or they whatever. So I didn't know if that was kind of a cultural thing in the church.
It is.
In the Mormon church for that.
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
It's a very encouraged. Most people play piano. So I started playing piano at 6 years old.
Oh, right.
So how I got out of piano is I started playing guitar. And then my parents said if I make the jazz band, they'll buy me an electric guitar, which is that black and red kind of starburst guitar that I have. And so that was like, was it ninth grade? Yeah, ninth grade. So whatever age that is. So 14, 15. And then I played again in the jazz band in 10th grade. And then that was pretty good. I mean, I wasn't like go to college good because I didn't give a shit that much about it. Yeah. The fun thing was my first year in high school was the first year of the school, right? So they just barely built it. So 1997 or 98 was the first graduating class, but 97 it started, right? Uh-huh. And so we signed up for jazz band. You try out before the school even started, right? So you make the team, or the team, you make the band. And so what it ended up happening was they put AP chemistry and jazz band at the same time. In the morning, it was period one. Literally everybody but the guitar or the bassist, me, who was the guitarist, and the drummer were all in AP chemistry, right? So we went in 6 o'clock in the morning, played in the jazz band. They all left and went to their class. And so for first period every other day, so we were AB days, right? So we had like an hour and 45 minutes. Me and these other two dudes just jammed out.
Stay behind and jam.
Oh, it was so much fun. And the freaking, our band teacher was just like in his office. Because the band, it's like an office and you have like, the whole like stairs behind it, right? Or whatever, the setup. So we would just sit, we played Tool, we played name it, like freaking name it, dude. And then one of those guys actually ended up touring with the Used, because the Used were a local band. They're called Dumb Luck. And then Burt McCracken ended up joining the band when I was on my mission, and then they blew up.
Wow.
But it was kind of fun. So like, we had his name is, if I remember, I was Greg Bester. And I remember seeing him on AOL sessions when he was the fourth member of the Used, just up there playing with him. And I was like, he's a freaking badass.
That's so
good
cool.
for you. Yeah.
That's what I've always really wanted to play an instrument. I know if I wanted to teach myself or get lessons to play the guitar or the drums now I could, but I think there's something inherent of learning at a young age. That muscle memory is just there from the beginning. It's like learning a language.
You could learn it. I could teach you how to play guitar in a couple of hours. Yeah. At least be able to read tablature and like kind of know where your fingers should go so you have enough, but then it's just freaking practice, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. My granddad, my mom's dad, he was he played the piano. He had a piano in his house. He had a baby grand in his house in the like 1950s and 60s. He was so into music and technology. Yeah. And he was the church organist. He played the organ every Sunday and Wednesday at the church. In fact, the organ that's still in the church now was what was bought for my granddad in the early 80s. They bought it for him, a new organ. And then when he died in 82, they put a plaque on it. It's John Morgan organ. And then when my nan died a couple of years ago, her funeral was at the same church, and there was a picture of my granddad on the organ as my nan was in her coffin in the center. It was like a real nice, kind of thing. But he was phenomenal musician. My mom, ballet dancer. She can read music. She can't play an instrument, but she can read sheet music. But I just never picked up that gene of wanting to play an instrument, and now I kind of do. I think it's kind of cool. Like you, I love watching you. When you're at your house, you'll just take yourself off for 10 minutes and go play the guitar, come back, and I'm like, what are we doing now? Like it's just that seems to be that kind of good reset. You know what I mean?
When I was in my junior high and high school, I would play between 2 and 6 hours a day, like every day. So I'd wake up, I don't know, 6:30, something like that, and I just sit down on the floor and just grab my guitar and I just play and play and play and play and play and play. Then go get dressed, and I'd come home like 2:30 whenever school was out, right? Play for another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then a lot of times I'd come home at night, right? Yeah. Like if it was a Wednesday night and all my friends were doing anything, I'd come home at 8, and I'd just go to my room, I'd play till I was sleepy, which could be midnight.
Yeah.
You know, and I actually, a lot of the time I'd play in the dark, which really made me good.
Because you're listening and
I never looked down at my fingers ever.
That makes sense.
I would just play and you know. In fact, a lot of the time, I don't know if you ever watch me play or if I do it when you guys are watching. A lot of the time I won't do it when people are watching just because it's kind of weird. Oh yeah, I get naked.
I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, I get naked.
To sit completely naked and play the guitar. It's like it's kind of got a real weird Forrest Gump feel to it.
It's kind of hot, you know. You put the guitar right in front of you, you know. People come down.
Do not stand up for the encore. For the love of God, do not stand up for the encore.
It's like dunk dunk. Oh, but I was gonna say I play with my eyes closed because it's kind of fun because you just vision like set in front of a crowd kind of thing, right? But then.
Do you really? Do you vision like sitting in a coffee shop playing in front of people?
No, not a coffee shop, like arenas.
You're in a big arena? Mm-hmm. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Just playing Smelly Cat or something like that.
Yeah, a little Smelly Cat. A lot of it is like, you know, there's enough footage from behind the bands, you know, that you can see, like, you know, big festivals and stuff like that. You can see the crowd. So it's really easy for me to like, you know, almost inception the thing and just visualize the whole thing and then just like, yeah, here's a song. And then, you know, and sometimes I pretend I write the songs, right? You know, if I'm playing like a Blink song or a freaking John Mayer song or something like that. So then like when people are singing it back in my dream, you know, it's like.
I'm the same way with acting.
Yeah,
if I see a favorite scene in a movie, I can close my eyes and see that entire scene through my eyes as being the actor. So looking at the cameras, looking at the crew, looking at the set, not seeing the scene behind me because I can visualize what that actor would see in being in that role. Yeah. Really easy. For a lot of my favorite movies, I can watch the whole movie in my head with me in that role.
That's cool.
Looking beyond the camera, almost like through the fourth wall.
It's a really good skill.
Yeah. Really visualization is huge. I love that. If you could, who's your favorite guitarist?
John Mayer.
Really? Mm-hmm. Why is that?
Because he's fucking good.
Yeah? Just purely because of his skill level?
Yeah. He's, I don't know, these are inflammatory statements. I think he's probably he might be the best alive. He's definitely top 5. And so, but people don't think that about him because he sings Your Body is a Wonderland and Fathers and Daughters and Mothers and whatever the hell that song is. Mm-hmm. But like Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, any of his jazz stuff. You know, he plays in the John Mayer Trio, which is that little jazz band of his. Mm-hmm. They're good. Wow. But you have to understand jazz to understand how good that is.
Yeah.
Because jazz is how do you explain this in layman's terms? It's you actually don't play chords that fit together and make them sound good. It's kind of, because you know you're like DACB, right? Like that just flows almost like Ed Sheeran just went to court over this, right?
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. You can slow it up or slow it down as the exact same chord progression, right? With jazz, you add little minor notes and little things that are like just almost odd, right? They almost don't sound good, but then the artist will make it sound good, and it's actually super impressive, and it's really complicated to play good jazz.
I do. So, I love jazz.
Yeah.
Jazz music's so good.
It's a polarizing one. You can love it or hate it, right?
100%. And thankfully, both Andrew and I love it. We went to see a jazz concert years ago, and it was high school. It was a Tucson high school, one of them, that was going to nationals for a jazz competition. And so we went and watched this show. I think it was like $20 a ticket. It was helping them to, you know, pay for their travel, whatever. Holy shit. Like 2 hours of just amazing jazz music. And they had this 16-year-old kid come out who could, honestly, you closed your eyes, it was Louis Armstrong. Yeah. And you watch this kid and the way he was like screwing his face up and like you could see the veins in his neck going because he was just giving everything. But he was just breathtaking. And I think they went on and won. Or either that or they came like top 3. Yeah. But I want to say that they were just so good. Yeah. And it was just great to see like that old style of music just being played by younger kids, you know?
I'll tell you, one of the things that was really impressive about John Mayer, if you watch John Mayer, number one, he can play all of his electric stuff on acoustic and it sounds spot on. Right, which is a skill, right? They're not the same instrument. It's like playing the cello versus the violin, right? They're just totally different. Yeah. But if you watch him play at Michael Jackson's funeral, he plays Human Nature. It's amazing.
I haven't seen that.
It's amazing.
We should watch it.
Yeah, we should
hold hands.
We will absolutely watch it today. It's just good. Like every time he touches a guitar, it's good, right? I mean, he played with freaking Alicia Keys. He's played with all sorts of people, and he's just. Yeah, I mean, he's actually a blues guitarist, is what he really is. You know, jazz and blues are cousins, right? And he's just good. You know,
if you could have been in any band as a guitarist, what band would you have been in?
On any band?
If you could take any band and put yourself in as lead guitarist, which band would you have wanted to be in?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Damn it, dude. I'm not gonna. I could be in any band. So here's the deal. I wouldn't pick any of the emo bands that I like. Here's why I'm having a hard time picking it. I always promised myself if I ever became a rock star, every city I went into, I would go and busk in the city, unannounced, right? Just out there busking, right? Assuming I have the talent level. And then I'd go to a hospital, a children's hospital, and play for 4 or 5 of the kids. Every single place I went. And that was like my original, this is like a teenager thinking this, right? My original thought was that's gonna my way of giving back and like, you know, the whole kind of thing. And so, but I wouldn't go sing emo music at a children's place, right? So,
hate your mom on a Tuesday.
I hate your mom. My girlfriend dumped me. F that chick. She kissed my best friend. Now I'm really living. I'm going to pierce something. Get a tattoo. That's emo music. Damn it, dude. I don't know. Like Oasis, maybe? Freak. I don't know. Something. It's got to be poppy enough. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that. I'm gonna do a special episode next time you come back
Coming back to Matt's question.
Talk about what band I wish I was in. So,
well, because it's weird because your energy, your style of music, like there's so many things. Like you could play any style of music, but then would you as a character fit it into that band? You know what I mean? So that's why, when you were just talking about all these different styles.
Honestly, here's one. Here's a good one. I probably would have been in Counting Crows.
Ah,
yeah.
Okay.
So but if I was going to fantasize this, I'd be the lead singer and the lead guitar, so I could take those skills and go and do it. Right.
You'd be a one man Counting Crows band.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just because I need to go sing the songs to people. That's what I want to do. Right. So But cool. Tell me, we got to run.
All right.
We're going to be on a Zoom call here in 5 minutes in my car.
Nice. Let's do it. I appreciate having me back on, brother.
No, of course, we'll do it again. Love you, buddy.
Love you too.
Thanks for listening to the President McCormack Podcast, brought to you by McCormack Foundation, Saxton Fund, ADP Lemco, and Professional Floor Systems. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and keep up with Mark on Instagram @President McCormack.